Hello, encouragers. I'm Rebecca Scott, wife, mother of 4, author, and owner and designer of Rebecca Scott Designs. I'm here to encourage you, to make you feel that I can do this spirit each and every day of our awesome journeys to fulfill those many important roles. I believe we are fully equipped to execute, and I will provide you with as much knowledge and practices and systems as I can to help you understand just what I know you can do. Execute. We got this. Hello, encouragers. Today, I want to talk to you about how to stay encouraged. I am frequently asked when I'm on Facebook Live or for any of my videos also on the encouragers, how do you always stay so energetic and so encouraged? And first of all, I would always say, if you see the light and the energy coming from me, it's Jesus. You need to know him and love him and pursue him. That is what really keeps me energetic and encouraged. But other than that, I have some real practical tips that you can take home with you and start to feel more encouraged each day, each week, and each month. The first thing I want you to just kind of an overall concept is that I want you to think about how much complaining you're doing. I'm a big proponent of actionable complaining. So go ahead, complain, get it out, whatever it is. If you're annoyed, you're stressed out, you're overwhelmed, you can't figure out a food plan, you don't like your job, whatever it is, complain about it, get it out. But then I want you to think about one step that you can do to problem solve on it instead of dwelling on the complaining. Don't go on and on about it forever. Maybe get it off your chest. I highly encourage that. Don't bottle it up, but get it off your chest and then decide what one action could you take to problem solve on it. Because what's the complaining really about if you actually can't problem solve on it? You're being put through that fire for a reason. Now you just need to start with the problem solving. So first, as an overall concept, ask yourself, how much are you complaining? And then think about definitely making it actionable complaints, taking one step to make that complaining be less about the complaining and the problem and more about problem solving. Okay, the first tip to staying encouraged is nothing beats a tally mark. Yeah. If you feel like sales are not going good or not going anywhere, I want you to start tallying anything. You could start tallying your sales, but if you're feeling discouraged by that, I want you to tally how many emails you send in a day that are sales focused. How many business cards you hand out, how many phone calls you made for whatever it is with your family, for your business, how many meals you planned, how many times you exercised that week, how many times you felt encouraged. Yeah, you could put a little tally mark for that. How many times you looked at your budget every single day. You know, tally things that will make you feel like you're making progress on something. And it may not be monetary focused. It may be a tally mark that you did, in fact, get all of the kids hugged and kissed before they got on the bus. You know, whatever it is that will help you to feel like you're making progress in the areas and the roles that are important to you. It doesn't always have to be sales. But I know when I fall into slumps, I go back to my tracking methods and I feel so much more encouraged. And side note, I will be recording a podcast on the power of a tally mark because it has literally changed so many things for me in my own business and also my personal life when I could track the tally marks. Okay, way number 2 to stay encouraged is to call a mentor or a coach and talk shop. Oh, I love going to the art shows and talking to my artisan friends and talking shop. Like, what shows are the best? What's been working for you? What problems are you up against? I love it. So make sure that one of the things that you do is that you call a mentor or a coach and you just talk shop. Get it out. Talk about what's going on. You'll feel more encouraged with some of the things that they're facing, that maybe you're along the same path and you could offer them some advice or they could offer you some advice. You'll just feel more encouraged when you can talk shop to a mentor or to anyone in your life that is business oriented. Talk about what's going on in your business. You will feel more encouraged. Tip number 3 is to start with the basics and clean your space. Yeah, I want you to crawl into your space, which I call the where, from our key decisions in the book. When, where, what, how, all of those are your key decisions that you make for your business. Your where is your space. So I want you to clean it out. Grab a big garbage bag, walk into that space and start throwing things away or giving things or looking at it as if you were someone who just walked in the door. What's going on? Does it look clean and organized? I mean, nothing is more discouraging than a messy space, a messy bulletin board, messy folder system, messy inbox, all of that, right? I want you to just start with the basics. Clean your space. Get the whatever you use, Windex, Norwex, whatever you use to clean the windows, wipe down the baseboards, wipe off things. I mean, clean it. Get rid of some stuff. Clean your computer screen, your bulletin board up. Maybe put a fresh coat of paint up or some wallpaper. Make it beautiful. But start with the basics and just clean your space. Light a candle, your favorite candle, turn on your favorite dance music, or maybe it's more meditative music, and get your space cleaned up. You will feel more encouraged. Tip number 4 to stay encouraged is to exercise. You all know how I feel about exercise. It's super important, you guys, especially in the year 2020 when we have access to every single exercise app you can possibly think of, every food app to stay healthy. Exercise is just so important. It definitely in my own life has encouraged me and kept me this energetic and just really clears your body of all the toxins, clears your mind to think better, to have a better memory. There's so many good things about exercise. And I'm talking like, if you just need to do 10 jumping jacks in your space in the moment, do it. And if you're a mom and you're not looking forward to jumping jacks because of what we normally know happens, do 3 burpees. I mean, it can be little or it can be long, but I encourage you just to start some exercise that will help your blood flowing, therefore your creative thoughts, and therefore you'll start feeling more encouraged. Hey, encouragers, make sure to go to our brand new website, theencouragerpodcast.com, and check out our resources tab. That is where we have all the PDFs from these podcasts that you can print off and use as homework or utilize in your own home. If it's recipes, if it's ways of doing things, check out the resources tab. The spousal business meeting on there, we love that one. That's probably the most downloaded one. And then also check out the book that I wrote, Equipped to Execute, Guiding Moms to Joyfully Impact Family and Business. Get one for you and one for your girlfriend. And also check out the journal so you can journal to your kids before they're out of the house. I know it's awful to think about. But if you could have something that showed them a little bit about what was going on in their life, how memorable and special that would be. So check out theencouragerpodcast.com, the resources tab, and also the store with the book and the journal. Okay, tip number 5 is to create a big deadline. If you're suffering through a slump and there's nothing to look forward to, you need to create a big project and put a deadline on it. There is something about a deadline that motivates everybody, right? And you need to actually tell somebody else about your deadline because you need to have somebody else involved with making sure you get there. Angie's excellent. If I've got a big project of helping me break it down, she doesn't necessarily put the deadline on it. That's normally falls on my lap. Not that she wouldn't, but it should fall on my lap. And then she helps me break it down into steps. So creating a deadline when you're in a slump and not feeling encouraged will make you feel encouraged because like, okay, I better attack this. And then telling someone else makes you that much more encouraged to get to that deadline. Break it into actionable steps and get started. Number 6, one of my favorites is give something. Whether you phone a friend and you give them encouragement, or you give something that you're making, or you give something to your kids at school, whatever it is, giving will definitely make you feel encouraged. It will remind you that you have plenty and you have arrived. If you really are in a bad slump and you're not feeling encouraged at all, there is always something to give. So give that and you will feel encouraged. And tip number 7 is to picture yourself in 5 years. Okay? What are you wearing? Where are you standing? How are your sales? What does your roles look like? What are the ages of your kids? It starts to make you feel encouraged that there's a direction forward that's futuristic that you are going and you are aiming for, and you start to feel encouraged about how things are going. Try not to picture the worst case scenarios, everybody. Picture the best case scenarios. If you created this deadline and you get there, if you're starting to exercise, if you're talking with coaches and mentors, and if you're tally marking, all of those steps, how are you going to be in 5 years? So picture yourself in an awesome, positive light, and you will feel more encouraged. And number 8 is to book a conference or a class or a course that you're super uncomfortable with. The reason I say that is because sometimes that's the one that we need to book. So what area in your work or your life most needs improvement on. So maybe it's I talk about the 4 systems frequently: the me system, the food system, the work system, the family system. Which one of those is most broke for you, that if you just took a course, a class, or booked a conference, would make you feel more encouraged about that area? Because all of those 4 areas are pretty much the 4 main areas of our life. And sometimes we just need a little help outside of ourselves to get us to the next level of them. So if it's your me system, maybe you book a silent retreat, or you book a spa weekend, but you're really uncomfortable doing that because you don't have any time. Okay. Or you're uncomfortable with booking a cooking class because you are in denial about how good you really aren't at cooking. It makes you uncomfortable, but that is the area that you most need to work on. So book a conference that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, and you will feel so much encouraged afterwards to work on that system. Hey, encouragers, thank you so much for all the ratings and reviews that you were able to give me last year. It's been really fun. And now even into this year, I want to read this one. It says, uplifted, 5 stars. Becca offers practical advice for your home and business. She incorporates God into all she does. After listening to her, I feel uplifted and ready to attack whatever lies ahead of me. I look forward to listening to her podcast. That is from EAH2486. Thank you so much. That is my whole point. That's why I call it the encourage. So I'm glad that the word that you came up with is uplifted. Okay, and remember, guys, with these 8 tips, that when you give joy, you receive joy. So by feeling more encouraged yourself, you are able to offer that to others. So nothing beats a tally mark. Start tally marking everything. Call a mentor or a coach. Start with the basics and clean your space. Exercise, create a big deadline, give something, picture yourself in 5 years, and also book a conference or a class or a course that you're uncomfortable with. Those are the 8 things to help you feel more encouraged. Okay, encouragers, I guess we have said encourage at least a dozen times. Maybe I should have tally marked it during this podcast. But I know if you do these practical tips, you will feel more encouraged, which will offer so much more to those around you. Until next time, encouragers, we got this. I know how you can start executing on all the things that God has equipped you to do. You can pick up my book at theencouragerpodcast.com and check out the store complete with book, journal, and the master course. Also, make sure to check out the resources tab where you'll get a hold of all the PDFs from the podcast. Thank you for tuning in, encouragers. Remember to subscribe so it's automatically on your phone. And please rate and review me. We got this, encouragers.